Well, I'm not a big fan of cancel culture, but as the left has referred to it, it's not cancel culture, friends, it's consequence culture. Many of you know over the weekend something very, very tragic happened in Texas, and we still don't know the full extent of everybody who was affected by this. There was some flash flooding. In some cases, water levels rose and expanded to quadruple their size in less than 30 minutes, sweeping away an entire children's summer camp, and obviously many other people along the way. And, common decency is kind of lost these days when we can score political points. But we have a pediatrician making a heinous joke and suffering instant regret. We have some of the lowest of the low internet influencers getting absolutely dragged, including one of them likely to get sued, using these children that passed away to raise money and get internet clout. Leave a like if you agree that there is a special place in hell for these individuals. Let's start with the pediatrician. Hey, I want to let everyone know. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it in this video. I'm not going to do an ad in this video. Pediatrician fired for vile post suggesting Texas flood victims were Trump supporters who got what they voted for. Children, 25 kids at least right now. A pediatrician has been fired over a vile post suggesting that more than 80 people who passed away, including dozens of kids, were President Trump supporters and got what they deserved. Dr. Christina B. Probst drew widespread scorn following a disparaging, since-deleted post under her old Facebook username, Christina. May all the visitors, children, and non-MAGA voters and pets be safe and dry, she now wrote in a viral post. I wonder if this has... Here it is. This is the sort of pediatric clinician employed at Bluefish MD in Houston. The ethics, humanity, and empathy illustrated here are unfathomable. Here's great. To all the visitors, children, and non-MAGA voters and pets, safe and dry, Kerr County MAGA voted to gut FEMA. They denied climate change. May they get what they're voted for. Bless their hearts. Of course, Bluefish has not posted on X since 2020, Bluefish Pediatrics, and they were getting absolutely shredded, online. Apparently, we'll continue here, but this person got, look, I understand people whose lives are 100% politics. They have a bit of a derangement, a bit of a kind of a sickness to them. And people want to point out and say, well, MAGA was pointing out that Governor Gavin Newsom was responsible for the ineptitude that led to the California wildfires. Yeah, but, I think that Gavin Newsom actually was responsible for the California wildfires. This was a situation. I have a video that shows how high the water levels rose in just 15 minutes. Look at this. The time lapse of the Texas flood video, 30 minutes. This is just 30 minutes in 15 seconds. I'm going to turn the audio off because it's probably going to get flagged or something. Watch the river. This is look at how quickly. By the way, watch it triples in size in about 5 minutes. And then it doubles again. This is what it was. It took 31 minutes to go from this to that. Completely submerged. There were warnings issued from the National Weather Service and things like that as well. But, they just could not. It was so quick, they just couldn't. You had an entire Christian children's camp swept away. 11 of these kids are still missing. Probe's employer, Bluefish Pediatrics, initially said the employee had been suspended before announcing that the individual no longer works here. You see, this as we previously mentioned in our original statement, We strongly condemn the comments that were made in that post. That post does not reflect the value, standards, or mission of Bluefish Pediatrics, the company said. We do not support or condone any statement that politicizes a tragedy, diminishes human dignity, or fails to clearly uphold compassion for every child and family, regardless of background or beliefs, the doctor's office added. A previous initial statement saying that she had been placed on leave was shared by the head of the Texas Medical Board. There's no place for politicization. The entire focus needs to be looking for survivors. Any complaints we may receive will be thoroughly investigated. And you hear this. To our patients and community, this past weekend we were made aware of social media comment from one of our physicians. As we previously mentioned in our original statement, we strongly condemn the comments. That post does not reflect our values, standards, or mission. We continue to extend our fully, apparently they've been fired now, The Texas Medical Board has not announced a formal investigation. The callous post prompted immense backlash online. Please tell us this person is not allowed anywhere near patients in Texas, one social media user wrote. We're residents here and find this beyond horrific and also very dangerous. Please help. Fired. Again, I don't know how you get this insane. I don't know how you get this insane. I don't get, I don't get it. I get, you look at the wildfires, you think, hey, whatever the case may be, there are probably a lot of Trump supporters, by the by. There was probably a lot of Trump supporters that were in this as well. You know what I mean? In the wildfires as well. So I don't see a lot of value in, standing on their graves. Here we also have Nick Pullum, a streamer who is, a relative nobody, a fly-by-night streamer. This is what he had to say about the children who passed away.
13 confirmed people dead and 12 campers are lost right now from a summer camp nearby.
Campers? Is it children awake?
Younglings, Nick.
Okay. They don't have much to live for anyways. It's okay.
Wait, they have their whole lives ahead of them.
Yeah. What? Their whole lives, Bree?
That's gonna
Bree. When they're older, every job is gonna be AI. Everything they learn is on ChatGPT. There is no future.
I mean, it was an attempt. An attempt was made at dark humor there. Donut operator, of course, called him, hey, we were in the mud today looking for bodies. Great joke. I need Melanie Mack. And, Donut ended up having his post limited because he used the bundle of sticks word. It's dumb, edgelord, cringe stuff. As of right now, I believe the toll is almost 100 people dead. A huge amount of them children. 89 is the current death toll. Now, again, none of this has to do with climate change. None of this has to do with Trump. This was a flash flood that happened quickly, and it was so quick that, people couldn't get out of the way fast enough. Here you have a 13-year-old who escaped the deadly flooding at Camp Mystic, says she knew something was terribly wrong when she heard the military helicopters flying over the Texas compound. Stella and her fellow campers have been left traumatized after floods ravaged the Christian summer camp, taking the lives of 27 people, forcing evacuations. The biblical Texas floods have taken 89 across the state, with 75 bodies having been recovered, 14 still missing. Survivors had described the floods as a pitch black wall of death, and they received no emergency warnings. The National Weather Service had extended flash flood watch for Texas Hill County, where an additional 1 to 3 inches of rain is expected to fall today until 7 p.m. local time. The Texas Hill Country is central part of the state and is naturally prone to flash floods. Friday's flash floods started with a particularly bad storm that dropped most of its 12 inches of rain in the dark, early morning hours. So you had this happen in the middle of the night. You had this update.
As of 8:30 this morning, we recovered 75 deceased bodies here in Kirk County, including 48 adults and 27 children. Of this 48 adults and 27 children, 15 adults and 9 children are pending identification. At present, there are 10 campers from Camp Mystic unaccounted for and 1 counselor. We continue to offer our condolences to those affected. Reuniting the families remain our top priority here on this operation.
As of yesterday, the confirmed death toll was 82, and those numbers are continuing to go up. The children, the little girls who were lost at Camp Mystic, that's every parent's nightmare.
And not to be outdone, we had Destiny, who is a bottom of the barrel streamer who's only relevant when he's saying insane stuff, has shared a post saying, I heard God took the lives of those kids because they were using NordVPN promo code Destiny to get around the Texas prawn ban. By the way, NordVPN says, hello everyone. This tweet falsely suggests a sponsorship with us. No such relationship exists, and we are reviewing the misuse of our trademark. He still has not deleted this tweet, which has 6,000 likes. NordVPN's probably going to sue him because they're going to lose a bunch of business. By the way, NordVPN dropped my sponsorship because they didn't like my politics. That's what just so we're clear. That's why screw NordVPN anyway, but they're going to end up suing him. There's a lot of effing around and finding out, and I think a lot of it has to do with people not being cool with going after kids. The left is vile and has absolutely no standards at all. And by the way, if people on the right were doing this about kids with some sort of leftist city, they're just as gross. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.